Yeah, today's talk is by Murray Hutchings. It's a possum hunter from Ratahi, and Murray talks about the changing distributions of possums, the art of trapping a possum, poisoning possums, and the ecosystems.
I've worked with some very good trappers that have spent their life as commercial hunters and trappers, and I was lucky as a young guy to be able to pick their brains and learn a lot of their knowledge. And I just carried on in the 70s. I used to possum for the winter and then hunt for the summer, and I worked in various places. I've trapped basically from one end of New Zealand to the other. I've spent, and as the years went on and there was more government poisoning, 1080 poisoning came in, the cyanide became less effective after you've had 1080, and went back to trapping with leg hold traps, which I found over the years the most successful way to catch a possum. But I don't get paid to do predator control. I get paid by the amount of skins and fur and pet food that I can sell.
Yeah.
So I have to be productive, otherwise I don't make any money.
So
that's what I try and work for every month. That's my target that I try and set. Even now I still do it. The week before I rolled my bike, I did I think 9 days, and I averaged 70 a day over that. I've tried a lot of different kinds of kill traps, but the possums become aware of them very quickly. And with a leg trap set right, you can sometimes catch up to 20 possums without moving a trap, which is makes the job a lot easier. I've noticed the different breeds of possums.
yeah,
And it's quite incredible. They have been the same for the last, well, I've seen it in the last 50 years, but I know guys that will be before me. I know a lot of the old buyers don't realise, but there was a lot of different liberations of possums around New Zealand at different times from different places. And it appears, well, it's pretty obvious to me that those different breeds have not changed at all in the last 100 years since they were liberated. And Hutchings has bought possum skins for ever. He was the main grader for Dalgiddies, which run the big auctions in New Zealand for years. And he would open those bales and start grading, and he'd say, these are Whanganui River skins, which are a small grey skin. Then he would open a bale and he'd say, oh, these are Kaimanawa skins. Then he would open a bale and say, oh, these are from what I call a 42nd verse, but in behind Ofonga. And they were a different skin again. And he would open these and he'd say, these skins are off Mount Pihanga, and he never got it wrong. But this is what is called a slate or a rock possum, which is a black possum with a golden belly. It's they're a pretty skin. Now, most places you will get one of these in maybe 2,000. Trapping in Fiordland, I found a pocket of these things where I was catching 9 or 10 a day, and just in about a 5k area, and it really interested me. And so I went back 10 years later and trap this area again. In the same area of 4 or 5k, I was catching 6 or 7 or of these rock possums a day. Once you get away from there, you're catching none. Possum like us. This is a big, nice dark possum, and that's the type of possum that people want. That's not a huge skin. About a 3/4 size Matawai possum, and if these possums around here where I live, a very large one would be about that big. And that's been like I've trapped around here for 50 years. I've trapped up in the area for 50 years. Those possums have stayed exactly the same. They haven't intermingled. They haven't changed colour.
So they're not moving around much, and they're not interbreeding between areas.
That's what I see, yeah.
But is this accepted as a part of the science of possums? Do people know about this?
No, they don't.